I was going through Magnus Carlsen's chess.com profile, looking for his first game that he ever played on the platform. But what I was not expecting was for it to be against Rainn Wilson. Yeah, the guy from The Office. If you want to see how Magnus destroyed Dwight Schrute, well then you gotta stick around. I'm not sure if this is entirely fair, but Magnus was given the white pieces in this game. This was played in 2014, and Rainn decides to go for a modern. Okay, we'll see how it goes. So far, he's doing well. He's made it 4 moves, and it's still equal. However, on Rainn's 4th move, he loses the game already. Some of you may know this little trick. It's bishop takes f7, check. Temporarily sacrificing the bishop, but you get knight g5 check, and now you're gonna take the bishop back, and you've won a pawn and forced the king to be stuck in the center here, and you just have a devastating attack going. So the king goes back, and Magnus takes the bishop on g4, and it's already +1, which basically equals mate in like 10 for Magnus. But Rainn actually does a good job. He lasts almost 30 moves against Magnus. This is insane. So we have knight h6, further losing the game. Rainn thought, oh man, Magnus is playing tricks on me already. I gotta go feral. But Rainn is not the one going feral. It's Magnus. I mean, who else? We have queen back to h3. Keeping an eye on the knight and maybe trying to rotate the queen to get to that f7 square and the b7 square, kind of opera game style going over here. So let's see, we have knight to d7 and knight e6. See, it's already +5 now. Magnus jumps the knight into e6, hitting the queen here and the bishop. Yikes. So the queen slides out of the way, and Magnus takes the bishop on g7, naturally. Now Magnus is up 4 points of material and goes back. He does a little windmill on Rainn here, taking the bishop with check, forcing the king back, giving another check, so now the knight continues to blockade the position. And also, that knight is hanging. So Magnus takes the bishop for free, and then the knight for free. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay, so let's see. The knight is not being attacked because it is defended, but at least now the queen sees the knight, and Rainn is trying to get his knight to f6. Develop. Oh, speaking of developing, Magnus knows his opening principles. He knows I can't launch a devastating attack without bringing in all my pieces. I mean, he could probably mate Rainn at some point with just the knight, maybe even just a pawn, screw the other pieces, you know, but he's trying to play with a little bit of class here. So he develops the knight, and Rainn plays king f7. Okay, d5 locks the knight in the e6 square, so this pawn can never move, and the king is just going to be stuck. The bishop controls these squares, the knight also controlling f8 and this square, so it's getting real claustrophobic for this king here. Let's see. c6, trying to break out here, trying to get something going, but Magnus is up 7 points of material and has spent no time. This is a 25-minute game plus a 25-second increment, I believe. And I could be entirely wrong about that. Hold on. No, it is 25 minutes plus 25 seconds. And Magnus is still at 25:50. Rainn probably should have spent a little bit more time than, you know, a couple minutes at this point, but it's okay. We're not going to judge him too hard. Okay, so we have c takes d5, e takes d5. The knight is not going anywhere. No, sir. It's +9. +9. But it still takes Magnus like 12 more moves to finish him off. We have queen c4, knight back to g5, check, kicking the king back. So now the queen can take the knight's place on e6. Look at this. The knight was here, and he says, "No, what? No, I want my queen there. I'm going to give you a check and throw my queen into e6. You know why? Because queen f7 check. And he's bringing the rooks. The rooks are joining the party. This is a threat, a big boy threat. In fact, let's see. If Rainn were to do nothing, it's mate in 5. Rook takes e7 and king d8, and yeah, you're just getting mated with knight e6. You have to sack the queen. Queen e6. And yeah, there's nothing you can do, so this is not going to end well. But let's see. We have queen f7, king there, and rook e8. And rook e6. every piece is having a turn at the c6 square. We had the knight jumping there pretty early on, getting solidified there with the pawns, and then Magnus cleared way for the queen, but the queen went to f7, so it went to e6 and then to f7, clearing the way for the rook to come into e6, like this. And Magnus just doubles his rooks on the e-file, preparing to take this e7 pawn. And Rainn tries to get something sneaky going on here, targeting the f2 pawn, thinking, you know, this is cute. This is cute. But the queen defends, so that's never going to be a problem. We have rook takes e7. Oh, by the way, it's mate in 6. And if Magnus finds it, of course. We have rook takes e7. Rook takes e7. Rook takes e7. And the king's got to go back. Now, do you play rook check? I mean, you can, it's still winning, but it doesn't lead to mate necessarily. You just start taking all the pawns, and you can even do this, which is kind of shocking. Because Magnus is already up so much material that even after, like, king takes here, he's still going to have a million pawns and a bunch of pieces, even though, you know, you're giving up a rook if you take on a7. But anyway, that was just a random line. We have king c8 and rook e8 check, forcing the rook to take. Queen takes, and the king gets brought back out to c7. Knight e6. Everybody's getting a turn on the c6 square. Oh my goodness. And now it's mate in 1. You find it? Queen b5. Shockingly, Magnus finds mate in 1. This is insane. The knights theming up here, supporting the queen, sliding in. The queen went, let's see. The queen took the bishop here, and then got hit by the knight, so I had to slide back, but kept an eye on the e6 square, of course. The knight jumped in there, but once it moved out of the way, the queen went here, and then to f7, and then took here, and then took here, and then just gave mate. The queen was, oh my goodness, instant replay for this entire game. We had this crazy tactic, well, not that crazy, but this tactic with bishop takes f7, knight g5 check, right? And then we have knight e6, devastating destroying the position with taking the bishop, giving a check, doing a little windmill. Bishop takes the knight in the h6 square, and then we develop some pieces, solidify the knight, and then we get the queen. The queen is now involved, kicking around the king. Then the rooks. Then we double rooks and take, and it's mate. It's just mate. Insane. I still can't get over the fact that Magnus's first game on chess.com was against Rainn Wilson. I mean, come on. Who would have thunk, right? Well, if you made it to the end of this video, I just want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like the video, make sure you like the video and check out this one up here. It's an 80-move game that I played where I had the legendary pawn cube from the Tartakower Karo Khan, and it took me 80 moves, but I finally got the win. Make sure you check it out.